Hey, this is John Davey. I just want to talk a little bit about this idea of trustworthiness. It's something I've been talking some with my therapist about, and she was giving me some feedback about how I had some, what she described as issues with trust due to getting mixed messages in my developmental stage about acceptance, because I had conveyed to her some ideas, rather some instances of people who should have been trustworthy not being trustworthy, essentially. And she had sent me some exercises to fill out, basically some homework exercises, and as I filled them out, one theme kind of emerged, which was like the questions were, what are your beliefs, what did you begin to believe about yourself, what beliefs did you get handed to you about yourself from your mother, your father, your siblings, teachers, friends, and other people. And the theme that emerged there for me was that, essentially, that I was getting mixed messages about being accepted. Like from my mother, for instance, I got this sort of radical, specialized acceptance when I was very young, and then over time I experienced that as disintegrating, and so this idea of trustworthiness got embedded as a theme in my life. And the issue that I took in my last couple of messages with my therapist were that I sort of took umbrage with the assertion that I had an issue with trust in general. And my concept was that it was not an issue with trust, rather it was an issue with people that I should have been able to trust, right? So the way that I distinguished that from an issue of trust was giving some examples of people in my life who I did trust, who I had learned to trust because they exhibited traits of trustworthiness. So if they had an objective standard or an objective standard of behavior, then that they were subscribing to or stated their beliefs about, and they fell short of that or deviated from that, when pointed out, those people had a surprised response, then that could be a measure of whether they were trustworthy or not. And the instances where that's not the case were, unfortunately for me, cases or instances of people who I should have been able to trust, and especially because they were preaching a doctrine of adherence to an objective standard of behavior. And they would punish me and my siblings. And this is not just my parents, I would put teachers in this category as well. And other adults that were in my sphere. So I took issue with the idea that it was my problem somehow that I had with trust in general, and rather that it was an issue with untrustworthy people, and that, and I think I made a pretty good case for it. And I'm just curious to see what everybody's thoughts are about that, and how people respond to that. So I don't know exactly yet where I'm going to be putting this up online, but I'm sure wherever it goes, it will have a comments section. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, just leave it in the comments section, and we can discuss it further from there. And if you have, any other questions that you'd like me to sort of think about, process, and address in another one of these audio files, that would be really cool. And maybe I can think about them, and then we can have a discussion about them. Okay, that's all for now. John Davey here. Bye.